was I even in jail? That's what I'm trying to show y'all. That's why I left the jail. And they have a lot more brothers that's innocent, just like me, that's trying to prove their innocence. That's why they ran. He said that I broke out. I didn't break out. I was let out. My name is Antoine Massey. The guy who said that I threatened him with a shank, the maintenance guy, how could I threaten you with a shank?
News this afternoon, one of the 10 escaped inmates from Orleans Justice Center has been recaptured this afternoon.
After a 6-week manhunt, Antoine Massey, one of Louisiana's most wanted men, has been captured, bringing to an end a dramatic escape that captivated national attention. Massey was one of 10 inmates who broke out of a rotting jail in New Orleans on May 16, 2025, in what was described as one of the biggest jailbreaks in Louisiana history.
These stunning images from inside a New Orleans jail cell where 10 inmates, some charged with murder, escaped, sparking an urgent citywide manhunt. The toilet dislodged from a cell wall, exposing an opening. Scrawled on the wall above, "We innocent and too easy," with an arrow toward the hole where they escaped, out of view of the officer on duty.
The escape involved an intricate plan, beginning with a maintenance worker allegedly cutting off the water to cells, allowing inmates to force open a faulty cell door, rip a toilet from the wall, and escape through the hole it created, even leaving a note for jail staff. While on the run, Massey gained significant attention by posting videos to social media, claiming he was let out rather than having broken out. In these videos, he asserted his innocence regarding charges.
This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false.
While claiming he couldn't afford a lawyer to prove his innocence and pleading for help from public figures like Meek Mill, Lil Wayne, Youngboy, and Donald Trump.
As far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail, I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was in Orleans Parish for. Okay, but before I was in Orleans Parish, I was in a jail called St. Tammany Detention Center. All right, St. Tammany Jail here in St. Tammany Parish. There's 2 different parishes, Orleans and St. Tammany. Okay, today what I want to talk about is that I was on 2nd-degree kidnapping, 2nd-degree rape, domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation, domestic abuse, battery, violation of protective order, right? On this woman right here, her name is Diamond White. That's her name. This is a district attorney drop form right here. And she's not a child, she's an adult, a full adult. I was dating this woman. This is a legalized affidavit saying all allegations against me is false. You remember, all allegations against me is false. I was nowhere around her or none of that during the timing of the date, which was November the 10th of 2024. Okay, so I was in St. Tammany, right, and I was on a regular domestic charge, right. So they put a parole hold on me because I was on a domestic charge. So with that being said, is that once that occurred, and the charges was refused or whatever, they shipped me to Orleans Parish where I had more open charges. It was the theft of a motor vehicle and the domestic abuse, battery involving strangulation. So once I got in Orleans Parish Jail, all right, I have from the district attorney's office, this woman who they say that I initially raped in another parish and in Orleans Parish is the same woman here. It's not different females, it's the same grown woman, not a child, a grown woman. Okay, she did the same thing in Orleans Parish, right? Correct. I'm about to show you how the system is corrupted. Okay, she did this, right? Saying all allegations against me is false. And she even saying it, you know, she let them know the truth, that I never did this to her, I never hit her, I was nowhere around her, nothing. I'm one of the ones that was let out of GC. What I want to talk about today is as far as why I was in Orleans Parish Jail. I was in custody for almost 8 months. All right, 6 months, something like that. I was in there for theft of a motor vehicle and domestic abuse involving strangulation. That's what I was at Orleans Parish for. Pursue charges on me because of my prior history. Who I was in the past is not who I am today. So I'm asking for the media. I don't even have a lawyer to help me. I'm asking for help. That's why I ran. You feel me? I'm a grown man. I have kids. I have a mother. I have a baby mother, a child, my children mother. Like it's a lot going on. And that's why I ran. I need help. You feel what I'm saying? Orleans Parish in St. Tammany is one of the corruptest parishes in the world. And I'm asking for help. It's a lot of corruption. It's juggins, all type of stuff going on, and they covering it up. They don't care about nothing. In the state of Louisiana, this is something that needs to go under a federal investigation. What's going on? How they handling cases? Why Antoine Massey was in jail if the woman, the victim, the grown woman, not a child, the grown woman stated that he never raped her. He never beat her. He was nowhere in her presence. This is the affidavits on the date right here. This is the drop form from the district attorney office. This woman when did this. I didn't do this. Look, it's legally dated. So I'm asking, please, for help. Young boy, Meek Mills, people, LBL, you know what I'm saying? People that been through the system that know it's corrupt. Lil Wayne, Donald Trump, please, I'm asking for help. You know what I'm saying? When I get back in custody, I'm asking y'all, please, to come and help.
31-year-old Antoine Massey is among 13 now booked on suspicion of aiding and abetting the men who escaped. Her brother, Antoine, and Derek Groves are the only two men still on the run. Deschanet's home in the 3600 block of 4th Street. Soon after, police say a woman romantically involved with Antoine called police multiple times, telling them that he was at Deschanet's home. They say she knew because she video called him on his sister's phone. Now, investigators searched Deschanet's home last Wednesday, but Antoine wasn't there. Detectives say they searched Deschanet's phone also and recovered messages between Antoine's partner and his sister. They say the women shared press releases and agreed that they hope he, quote, never gets caught. Police say they also discovered that last Monday at about 5:30 in the evening, Antoine's alleged partner shared a live location with Deschanet. Police say it was later deleted. Investigators spoke with both women later, which they say uncovered that
Antoine Post escaped by knowingly placing false tips to law enforcement. Investigators have also secured a warrant against Antoine's romantic partner.
Massey's highly public social media activity ultimately led to his downfall. Tips from the public, spurred by his online posts, guided authorities to a home that was raided by SWAT, where officers recovered clothing seen in his videos. A subsequent tip to New Orleans police led to his capture approximately 4.5 hours later in Holly Grove, the neighborhood where Lil Wayne grew up, following his rebooking into the same New Orleans jail from which he escaped.
They had been waiting on tips, in fact, pursuing some of them unsuccessfully until today. This tip panned out. Somebody will be collecting $50,000. It came through Crime Stoppers. Other agencies involved, the U.S. Marshals were kind of leading the search,
yes.
But instrumental and at this residence were representatives of the New Orleans Police Department, Louisiana State Police, U.S. Marshals, of course, along with JPSO, not far from the Jefferson Parish border.
That's right on the line.
They assisted. Obviously, they were taking, no chances or risks with these. This particular escaped inmate being considered potentially armed, potentially dangerous,
yes.
But it ended peacefully. He's now back in custody. Obviously, he'll be facing a charge of escape in addition to the previous charges for which he was being held at the Orleans Justice Center of domestic violence that included rape.
Yes, absolutely. Now, this area that we were looking at on your screen, this is a map where that house is, where Antoine Massey, one of the Orleans Justice Center escapees, was taken back into custody. If you're just joining us, that happened just a few moments ago. This area is really not too far from Xavier University's campus, which may be a bit unnerving for some parents out there who may be watching this, to know that Antoine Massey was hiding out in a house right there. not that far from the Costco where a lot of people frequent. Hundreds, thousands of people go through that Costco every day. And apparently Antoine Massey did not get far.
Was he lying about his innocence, or does he legitimately need help?